Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Watch me elevate. hype when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport. My name is Dan Davis, and we are live here for the next round of the Pro Series here on SimPlay Motorsport. Rounds 13 and 14 of Season 2 here at Zandvoort for the next round of the Championship. And in the commentary box with me once again is my good friend and co-Mazda 787B enthusiast. It is my good friend PNMotorsport. PN, how are we doing this fine evening, and how are we looking forward to tonight's race?
Oh, even Dan. Yeah, the 787B. Sorry, fantasising about that car now. Oh. Yeah,
Well,
Zandvoort. I hate this place. Especially this out-of-date version as well we've got in this game.
yeah, indeed, it is. It's definitely a circuit that needs to be updated on ACC, but nonetheless, it is still a great circuit to produce some great racing, which we've seen in the last three races with
Maybe in Rettier.
Well, I do have to still agree that Leon Fernie did all the hard work on that one, not me. But either way, we are live. We are ready to go racing here tonight at Zandvoort for the pros. How are they going to tackle tonight's race? That is the question. First things first, let's see who's at the top of the tables. And it is Overtaker in McLaren. No De Silva. He sadly had to pull out of the championship. But he still has got his main rival, Ripper. No, Matt. Matt is currently away at the minute working. And... sadly, he won't be able to score any points here this evening as we see Mummy D in the chat. Nice to see you in the chat, Mummy D. And PN, Zandvoort, obviously you've already said that you're not a massive fan of it, but nonetheless, it has produced some great racing the last couple of nights. A very tricky circuit, but it's also very much all down to chassis and downforce, isn't it? A circuit that's based more on how well your car is planted to the ground. But the biggest thing we have got to mention is the conditions. It's been like this all week. We've had rain. And I don't think it's looking to pass anytime through. But we could have it next weekend at Silverstone. But myself and you have already done a night's worth of racing. How tricky is this circuit in the wet?
Very tricky. Even more tricky when the race engineer decides, oh, slicks are optimum.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them next time.
Yeah, I definitely would not think that whatsoever. So... at the minute, like I said, it's the McLaren's at the top, and we know that the McLaren has got a very good baseline setup. It's very good on downforce, very good chassis. Top speed doesn't really matter here too much because you've only really got the one long straight, which is the main start straight. But other than that, on paper, the McLaren should be the best here, right?
Yeah, we don't have any Bentleys in Pro tonight because Benno can't make it, unfortunately. The only man who took it to Ripper Carl Army last week. Because that Bentley could abuse the curbs quite nicely. But
the Bentley around here is definitely the better car, and it is definitely the one I think that is the most dominant around here. Matt last season did drive his Bentley around here, and he was very quick in it, but sadly one race he lost to the Lamborghini. But either way, someone's watching my private stream. They want to come off my private stream and go to SimPlay Motorsport.
SimPlay Motorsport on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube. That's where all the action is. So head over to there. Give us a like and subscribe to the channel as well. What other cars are we looking at on here looking quite good? All the Lexuses are up in the top half. Yeah, so all Lexus is looking quite strong, including Shane as well. So you know the Lexus is doing rather well in these wet conditions. But have a quick rundown of the Drivers' Championships at the minute. I haven't loaded it up, so I need to get that all loaded up, ready to go.
David's cut pit exit again, right behind Gary.
I'm going to stop that from happening. So, your Drivers' Championship looks like this. Ripper is leading away 74 points ahead of his closest rival, who isn't here tonight. It is Mathew. He is away at the minute, but Breeze is sitting in that P3 position. Then you got Overtaker in P4, and this is where it gets really interesting. You have Overtaker, Wolfinator, Fury, Camel, Peaceful, Nexus, Benno, all within close range of one another. I think it's if I do the maths quickly here, I'm terrible at maths. It is about 7 points separating the drivers. So Overtaker in 4th, Wolfinator in 5th, Fury in 6th, 7th is Camel, 8th is Peaceful, 9th is Nexus, and 10th is Benno. 11th is De Silva, who sadly pulled out of the championship. Then we got Emplava and Gary in 12th and 13th. Shane is sitting in 14th position and Hitman in 15th. He is still mathematically in this championship, but after tonight he probably will be dropped out of the season, or not out of the season, but out of the championship running. And then you got Euro, T, David and F1 Billow, who are all mathematically out of the championship and also can still score decent points to get himself back in the mid-pack fight so they don't get caused into relegation. Regarding the teams, it's Killer Performance Motorsport still leading the way with quite a healthy lead, 417 points ahead of Jaeger Motorsport's 293, and with no Matt here tonight, they'll just extend that gap even more. SimPlay Racing in third, they can now catch while Matt is not away, while both drivers are here. Teletubby Motorsport sitting in fourth, with JWB Esports Racing 1 leading ahead of the 2 team in sixth place. Then you've got Button Bashing Racing in 7th place. Regarding the manufacturers, it is done and dusted. McLaren are champions, and we haven't even got anywhere near the end of the season. So McLaren have won the title. Bentley is in second and Ferrari is in third. Porsche is fourth. Fifth is Lexus. Sixth is Aston Martin. Honda is in seventh. Eighth is Audi. Ninth is BMW. 10th is Mercedes. 11th is Nissan. Arretia is now 12th. The 13th is Lamborghini. And bringing up the rear is the Jaguar. And those are the championship standings. And if you have been listening and if you have been paying attention, you will also know roughly what the grid order will be for the first race, as the first race is a reverse grid of the championship. So it will mean that David will start on pole position ahead of Euro in second. Shane will start third with Gary in fourth. Fifth is Embrava with sixth is Nexus. Eighth is Peaceful with seventh is Peaceful, with eighth is Killer Camel, ninth is Fury, 10th will be Green Wolfinator, Overtaker will start 11th, 12th will be Breeze, and your championship leader of Ripper at the back of the pack. And that is your championship order. And so far this season, PN, Ripper has pretty much had it his own way in this Audi. He's looked very strong, he looks very good. I honestly don't know who can stop him, because he is looking very much like the man who's going to win this title.
He does indeed. Well, don't think Overtaking can do it now.
No, it's a massive. He might not be making all the rest of the season. So at the minute, Overtaker is fourth at the minute. He's 114 points behind Ripper. Breeze is his closest championship rival, and he's still 103 off of him. So remaining points is 204. He's pretty much got most of that in hand.
Ripper don't even need to win races really to be champion. He's just score top 3 and be comfortable.
Much, yeah. He's comfortably there at the minute, but we'll see how the rest of his season goes. For all you know, we could hit a bogey track where he is not really able to compete very well. And I say that, he goes P3 half a second on his very first lap. Well,
he had a bit of a interesting race at Brands, didn't he, Ripper? That would massive scoring.
He did still score points, that's the difference though, so...
Yeah, look, never give up, people. Keep going, you know. Don't quit races.
The Audi never really did look very strong around there. So the fact is, I think for him, he knew it probably wasn't going to be strong. And for him, it was just a scoring points kind of a race. Make sure he scored points.
A pointsy race, as England would say in touring cars.
Exactly. I don't want to use the pointsy term, but we'll use it anyway. But
it's not sponsored by Ginsters now, so you're safe.
Don't tell Kelly that; he'll be very upset. He nearly had a falling out with Tom Ingram.
Really?
Yeah, an argument over Ginsters pasties, ironically.
They're not pasties. They're vile.
Either way, we're not going to get onto pasties. No, that could be a whole different conversation for other people.
Maybe an endurance race we've got nothing else to talk about.
Maybe. So right now there's a poll being sorted out, as you can hear probably the type in. We are going to predict, predict. We put a vote out for who you think is going to win the first race, and I've gone for a mixture. I've gone for 2 quick guys at the back of the pack and 2 who will be starting on the front row. So we've gone for David, Euro, the Ripper, or Overtaker. Who do you think will take the first race win? Get your votes in now. And PN, I'm going to come to you for who you think is going to take the first race win, as Ripper now goes within 700ths of Overtaker. It's a very tricky circuit to overtake. There's not many overtaking opportunities. Probably turn 1 and the chicane are probably your best bets around here. So with these boys starting at the back of the pack, who do you think is going to be the man to take the first win tonight?
If they can survive, either Overtaker or Ripper. but they got to survive turn 1. And if you saw Pro-Am last night, yeah. So got a bit interesting into turn 1 and all the turns. Point. I don't know. I'm not going to say David because I don't think he's got the exit rule at all.
And with the pace at the minute, the Ferrari's not really looking that strong at the minute. If I'm looking at the order, I think it's going to be a tricky one, really. I mean, I think the back load of drivers might be the ones to keep an eye on, but it's clearing the traffic. Maybe pit stops and strategy will come into hand, but you really do have to pit at the right time. So I think that's really what's going to come down to, I think.
Yeah, and we don't even know what race 1's going to be like weather-wise either, because in Pro-Am last night it started to dry. But don't believe him for a second. Because the pressures were just... I had 20 PSI at the end of the race in my tyres.
Not good, as Breeze took a little bit too much curb there. And I was going to try and attempt to go on board, but we're not even going to bother trying. We will go on board with Breeze on the outside view for a lap of this amazing circuit here in the Netherlands at Zandvoort. So as Breeze heads down the short straight towards turn 1, he'll make sure he hits the braking zone. He'll brake a little bit earlier in the wet conditions to slightly bank turn 1, right-hander, and avoiding the curb because the car will lose traction and lose grip. Then you swoop into turn 2 and fly into turn 3, making sure you hit the brakes nice now because you can carry too much speed and launch yourself into then turn 4, the slow hairpin, the flatter version, not the curved version of F1, and then up the crest over towards turn 5, into 6 and 7, all flowing with one another. The Retia really didn't like it here. It was aquaplaning like mad, but for the McLaren it is beautiful. Then into the long right-hander, and the rear will want to go light and struggle to hold grip as it then tries to swoop over to the left to open up then the next right-hander, and this is just a continuous corner. The Zandvoort circuit is one of those tracks that just keeps going and going and going until you then hit to the tight hairpin, then opens up to then the left-hander, another slow hairpin, until you finally get to a straight. And then you can rest for a little bit, but then you have to get back on the power again and hit the brakes as you head towards the chicane of turn 11 and 12. Hitting the brakes just before the curb on the white line. Make sure you don't clobber that inside curb too much, and make sure you stay nice and tight to the inside of the chicane and launch yourself out of turn 12, heading towards 13. You think you could take a bit more speed than you actually can, but you have to be cautious as Breeze enters then 13 and then swoops himself into 14. Normally in a dry this would be flat, but for these guys they're probably lifting. And down the back straight comes Breeze, and that's roughly an average of a lap time of 1:42 if you're quick, or if you're a mid-pack. But if you're a ripper and you're not human, then you do a 1:41.9. So
well, I don't think I overtake this human either. If he's on a pad with them times, you can't be human with them lap times or overtaking balls out.
Indeed, but either way, we go on to P4. He's now coming towards the line of 1.7 off the pace. He's pretty much similar to Euro. Euro's got a little bit more pace underhand. Oh, Wolfinator's had a moment. But either way, that's a lap of Zandvoort. And a circuit that still to this day, I don't think it's that good a circuit in my opinion. I just think it's too tight. It's too tight, it's too twisty.
It never used to be like this. Once along, like in the 80s, it used to go a little bit out, but it's a golf course now. Where that bit is.
Well, either way, it is. It still produces some decent racing, but it's just too tight for overtaking. It's, I think, a bit more of a go-kart track. You do need like a go-kart style car around here, and I think the Audi is meant to be, on paper, meant to be good around here. The Porsche should be also good around here, but it is the McLaren and the Bentley that seems to be the strongest cars around here. But I say that the Audi is top of the tables, and Overtake has missed his braking point, and into the kitty litter he goes.
Building sandcastles, literally at Zandvoort, because it is in the sand dunes. It's right on the coast of the North Sea.
So as these guys are just coming to the end of their free practice session, how much do you think that these guys are stressing about the weather? Obviously, the conditions that we had put in for it is 20% chance of rain. And obviously it's raining now, and this 20% can happen at any point in the session. So obviously we've got the rain now. Could there possibly be dry heading towards race 1, or could it be dry for race 2? There's a lot of variables that could happen. But in these wet conditions, OPN, you have to be more alert and more aware of what's going on, because you do have to brake earlier, you have to have more control of the car, and careful with that slip, because it will be easy. Even though this McLaren's planted, it will still want to lose traction.
Well, I saw another McLaren lose traction yesterday, quite a bit. No
but either way, these boys have to be on it, especially in these wet conditions.
Yeah, you've got to be fully alert. So make sure you've had plenty of coffee to be alert, and you've got your air conditioning on full whack to be alert. As Wolfie goes off at the chicane. Well done, Wolfie.
As Overtaker still currently on a lap, we'll keep an eye on him. He looks fairly clean so far. You can see the back end wanting to step out. I'm going to try and guess why Overtaker chooses the number 14. Do you have a guess of why he chose 14 as his race number?
Fernando Alonso.
Fernando Alonso, I believe, is his favourite driver and his idol, and obviously Fernando runs the 14. Before anyone says, no, I don't run the 16 because Charles Leclerc picked it. So, but either way, the 14 for Overtaker, he loses the back end a little bit there, and I think he's trying so hard to get on Ripper's base. He's pretty much there, just needs to find a 10th, but towards the sector he comes. He does not improve. Let's have a look in comparison to the two. So Overtaker is fastest in the final sector, but Ripper has just got enough in the first and middle. It is literally 200ths in the first sector and 200ths in the middle sector, and then obviously Overtaker is slightly faster in the final. So it's that close between those two.
Yeah, pretty close. I bet you Gary's wishing he was in the Carrera Cup car from weekend.
I think he's probably trying. I think he's trying to set it up like the Cup car. Oh, Overtaker! Oh, he had a bit of a twitch there.
Bit less downforce, no traction control. Where you go? Where you go? There's a Cup car.
As I was just about to say, we haven't seen Fury in a while, and as we go on board with Fury, he's gone right off into the grass, into the gravel, and he's probably going to return back to pits. Yes, he does. Who we haven't seen for a minute. Let's go on board Nexus, who's also in the same area, just gone off.
I've gone off. Yeah. Mm.
So, the Audi
so
looking.
Run 16, Dan. Why
The reason for 16 is evening to Sutty, Daz, Mummy D. Anybody in the chat, let's hear from you and get involved in the stream. Reason I chose 16 was obviously when I was a young lad, there's not much karting that's down here. You can't really get into racing in that way. And I went for a BMX club event, turned up, they gave me my first ever number plate, and it was the number 16. And ever since then, 16's been a lucky number to me. When I ran the 16, I qualified for the BMX Worlds, and next thing you know, I'm racing in that. So, yeah, 16. That's the reason why. And then Charles Leclerc stole it. So, what a lad. But yeah, and I think what number you run? The 66?
66, yeah.
66. And the reason behind that?
66 million years ago, when my world died. I'm a dinosaur nut. And execute Order 66. Wipe the Jedi out.
and there you go. There's a little bit of insight to why me and PN run those numbers. PN wants to execute Jedis, and I just want to live back in my childhood. So we're currently on board with Green Wolf.
Even we can't do because Jedi aren't real and your childhood's gone.
Yeah. Currently the fourth down to I'd say down to Wolfinator is relatively close. It's all separated by half a second, so those guys are close. Breeze is the shock at the minute, currently sitting in P3, so he's looking good at the minute. Wolfinator currently on a lap. There'll be one car left to complete a lap, and that will be the number of Gary 131, who's in sector 1 at the minute. and he's just a bit off the pace as Wolfinator has a twitch, and I think he's practicing the pit entry line. And as you can see, into the pits he comes. He does not want to touch a white line, and he comes in relatively well, I would say.
Thing is that the speed limit line's really close.
It is indeed. Nexus is next to come towards the line to finish his session, and it's always worth just practicing the pit entry as well just before the end of the session, so you get an idea of what's happening, and you don't get told off by the stewards who have been a little bit strict this season. But Nexus towards the line.
Put the lever on. Nexus
has got within 2/10 of that group now, so he's now in that scrap, and Mike was very lucky that he returned to the pits. As you now, we got this qualifying session that, yeah, it's just really fast to get ready to switch to cameras.
So make sure we've returned to carriage and we're not locked on a camera for someone. And in theory, in pole, it should be David. So, run down the grid, Dan. Time. If I can find it.
As a Camel goes out, and again, I don't understand why they go out, but either way, they do. Camel has gone out, so I mean that's at least a car we can show going around track. If you haven't done so, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss anything here at SimPlay Motorsport. We've got a couple of votes coming in, 6 votes so far, and 83% of you reckon that Ripper is going to win this race. The other 17% reckon it's going to be David, so I think 5 of them probably went for Ripper. But regarding the grid order, so if the guys are listening and everybody is watching, they can hear the correct grid order. It will be David who will start on pole position with Euro running alongside him. Shane will start in P3 with Gary 131 in P4. Then we also have Plava and Nexus on row 3 with P5 and 6 to their names. P7 will be Peaceful and P8 will be Killer Camel. That is your row 4 lineup. And then we go to row 5, which P9 is Fury, P10 will be Green Wolfinator, and then row 6 will be the 2 McLarens of Overtaker and Breeze. Bringing up the back of the pack is your championship leader, Ripper. Can he add to the championship points he already has, and how many wins can he actually tally up in one season? That is the question. I didn't hit return to garage. That was a good start from me. I was too busy reading the race order out. I am a pillock.
Someone clip that.
Do you actually want to know? Look, Ripper's season has really explained how consistent he has been.
Yeah.
Technically, there's 20 cars in the championship, right?
Yeah.
So he has been. What do you think his lowest position has been?
Probably about 4th, 5th, maybe?
His worst round was Zolder, and it was 6th in race 2, was his worst result. He has been on the podium, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times this season, and he has had 6 wins to his name. 6. The only 3 people that has had a win is De Silva with 2 at the start of the season, Mathew with 2 at Zolder, and then Killer Camel with 1 at Brands.
At Brands.
So that's how impressive that Ripper has been this season.
He has been pretty on it, hasn't he? They should now do their formation lap and get in the position. So David and Euro should come to the front. So double Ferraris at the front row.
So yeah, it will be David on pole position with Euro in second. Where is Euro? There he is. Then it should be Shane. So hopefully Shane will move forward. There he is. We should then have Gary 131 in P4. There he is, working his way through the order. Then we should have Prava in P5. I'm stuck on Camel, so we can't actually do anything about that.
He is.
Prava is in P5. Then we should have Nexus. There he is, followed by Peaceful Explosion. And then we should have Killer Camel. There he is, with Fury starting behind him. Wolfinator in P10. Overtaker in P11. Breeze in P12. And bringing up the rear, it should be Ripper. Ripper's got the easiest job. He just needs to wait at the start line, and that's it. Everyone go past.
Just
but we we are in pro order. We have managed to get going before even Sector 1 is finished, so this is fantastic. So Am and Pro-Am learn from these boys because they've managed to do it within a sector, so I think to be fair, Am wasn't actually too bad.
David's still a bit quick, though. He's not like a second lead on the formation lap.
Well, he needs to start backing the pack up then, I think. Sutty saying in the chat, Gary for the win. Obviously, you can't vote for Gary, but we'll see how he gets on. He's P4. He was 3.5 seconds slower than everybody else. But we'll see how he gets on. Not everyone else, sorry, the leader, which was Ripper.
And we say hello to Fury's mum, who's joined us in chat. And in my personal stream, Smithy, you know where you're meant to be. Go on.
So as we now get into order, one last prediction on who we think is going to take this win. I never actually gave a name. You're going with Ripper, did you say?
Yeah.
You're going with Ripper. I'm going to go the way of... I'm going to say Overtaker. I think Overtaker. I think the pit stops will help these boys out, get themselves up the order. We are in the mid-pack of Killer Camel. When I say mid-pack, he's 8th out of 13, so close enough. As we are now going to get themselves into double file, and David needs to back the pack up. As he now come into the final corner, he's not doing a good enough job of backing the pack up. He's obviously keen on wanting to get on with this race.
That'll probably be put in, but where's he going? Why is he that far over to the right?
Either way, we are going to get things underway very shortly as he gets to the line. 2 Ferraris on the front row, but is a Ferrari going to win this race? We are green here, and David leads them away, but Euro on the outside looking to try and make a move into turn 1, but he won't be able to do so. Shane is just behind him. He's going to look down the inside, but can't quite get the job done. Gary 131 and Emprava go up towards the quick right-hander of turn 2. 3, I think it's 3. Gary hits the rear of Emplava, gives him a slight contact, and now Nexus is right on the rear wing of that Porsche. Relatively clean, other than Overtaker. He's gone round and had a moment. He's now dropped to the back of the pack, and the commentator's curse is real. And he's dropped to the back. David from Euro, from Shane, from Emplava, Gary, Nexus, Camel, Peaceful, Fury, Green Wolfinator, Breeze, Ripper, and then bringing up the back is Overtaker, but he can recover.
He can recover. This is on the first lap, but as Fury's looking around the outside of Mike.
He is looking around. He's going to go try the karting line because even though the marbles have been built up on the outside, there is technically more grip to the outside of the circuit. And right now, Fury's looking for any opportunity to make his way past Peaceful, but he can't seem to find a way through. Meanwhile, Emprava still under massive pressure from Gary 131. He's looking to the outside, but can't quite get the job done. Emprava cuts him off. Shane, meanwhile, Gary's going to send it down the inside. He does a Sutty send it. He makes a mess of it and does a Sutty spin.
Hold the brakes.
And around he goes. The Porsche 911 facing the wrong way. Meanwhile, David, with a decent start, has pulled away from Euro and Shane, who've dropped the pack completely at the minute. They've got quite a healthy gap of 1.2 seconds ahead. So the top 3 pulling away while they're all too busy squabbling for the next couple of places. I think Fury's jumped up a few places. Yes, he has. He's now up into P9. Not P9. He's going to be updated soon. It is P6.
Yeah, Wolfie P7. Ripper P8 already. He's now ahead of Breeze.
And you can see he's just, I say that, he's gone wide. He's gone very wide in turn 1, missed his braking, and he now loses a few more places. He just stays ahead of Gary 131. He's now behind Peaceful.
He made a mistake. He's human, he made a mistake.
He is indeed. Meanwhile, the top 2 out in front. Shane's just able to stick with the Ferraris, but the man who's holding everybody up is Emprava. But to be fair, these 3 have even pulled away from Wolfinator, and it's now Breeze who's the one holding everybody else up behind him. Overtaker slowly starting to work his way onto the back of the pack.
Yeah. Well, if he was setting 42s in practice, he's easily got to catch everybody, isn't he? Is Overtaker.
But he has got damage. He's got slight damage to the front end of his car. Camel looks like he's got a bit of damage also. So was he involved in any of that instances earlier on in the race? Who knows? The stewards will know once the tickets do come in. Meanwhile, Breeze is the cork in the bottle for Camel. and Ripper has got Peaceful in front of him. Peaceful's very loose on the rear end of that Honda. The NSX really not happy around here, and now they got the Porsche 911 with Gary just behind them. But down the inside will go Ripper. Will he get the job done? No, he hasn't quite got the confidence in the wet, and Peaceful will hang on. Overtaker now joining the back of the pack. Meanwhile, Euro is right on the rear wing of David.
Yeah, it's a Ferrari civil war. Both are independent, so.
And Shane is sticking with him. He has got decent pace in that Lexus, as Fury, meanwhile, is attacking Nexus. Nexus defends the inside. Fury seems to have better straight line speed. He's going to look to the outside of turn 1. He needs to brake a lot later than Nexus. He ain't going to get the job done there, so you have to try and go for the undercut. And he can't quite get that done either. It's very easy to defend around here, but very difficult to overtake.
You do need to get your elbows out, but elbows out means you've got to have a crash sometimes. And this awful circuit.
So far, so good. Relatively clean from all the guys. We've got David leading the way. Euro is in second. Emperava is now ahead of this little squabble between someone else. Is it Gary? Yes, it is. I think. No, it's not. It's not Gary. That is Wolfinator.
Oh, Wolfie's been off. So I saw a triple number for and causing the yellow. Did he get the hairpin wrong, which is easily done? Horrible little corner.
Who knows? Possibly not. And Sutty in the chat said, send it. But right now we've got Fury, who's now attacking Nexus. He's got an opportunity here. He's down the inside, but Nexus will have better grip on the outside. He'll get better exit, but Fury has got the job done in the Lexus. Clean move there. Last minute, and he catches Nexus out, but Nexus looks to the inside. Has he got it stopped? Yes, he has. And now the Lexus is focusing on the next car, which is the Honda of Emplava. Great little move there from Fury.
Stutty, you would love this circuit. You won both races last night. Try driving my Aston on a pad.
I detest this circuit, and I won round here, so it's not. Oh, Emplava's got very wide. That's really going to open him up to an opportunity for Fury to attack him, but Fury not quite close enough to capitalise on that mistake from Emplava. And Fury once again trying the outside line into turn 1, but not quite getting the job done. Meanwhile, Peaceful is still trying to heavily defend from Ripper. And Ripper's just having to be patient. Peaceful, very calm and patient there, and just holding Ripper up. This is helping Emplava survive a little longer, but he's got the Lexus of Fury breathing down his neck. Emplava's gone wide, and Fury tried the undercut, and it didn't quite work. As Fury's now flashing his lights. He's like, come on, man, let's go. We need to catch the leaders because they're pulling away. Oh, Fury nearly dropping the rear as he comes over the crest of the right hand. He's on the curb as well. Fury's really confident in these conditions, but in a minute he's going to catch himself out.
Well, he's a bit used to a car with very little rear grip. With the cup cars on Sundays, make sure you tune in to me and Matt as we go to Alton Park.
Yeah, Alton Park, a very bouncy track, and the cup car really doesn't like cars that bounce, so circuits that bounce. So yeah, we'll see how that gets on. So Fury on the back of Emplava. Meanwhile, Euro has caught right onto the back of David again, and Shane's gone with him. So Shane having a fantastic drive at the minute, sticking with these two Ferraris, and so far so good. Meanwhile, Fury is still trying to find a way past on Emplava. He can't seem to do so. Meanwhile, Ripper still stuck behind Peaceful. This is it. This is the problem with Zandvoort. It is such a difficult track to overtake. Overtaker has now caught Gary 131. What can he do from there? But it is the top 3 as Emplava goes very defensive behind. But it's the 2 Ferraris going into turn 1. Shane thinks about sending it on Euro. And he's not quite close enough as he got the job done. He's got the nose in and he's through. Second place for Shane. And he's up a position. He did. Meanwhile, his teammate has done the same thing to Emplava. So the Lexus in both of the Teletubby Motorsport's hands is looking very handy as Emplava's gone wide. He just manages to avoid the wall, but Breeze hits him. Contact made, and there also was Ripper finally getting past Peaceful. Overtaker also passing Gary 131. So everything happening on lap 4.
Flashing yellow again in the bottom. I believe that's end dropping to the back, isn't it?
More likely, yes, as he's waiting for every car to come out of his way. Now, Shane had a very decent move there on Euro. Now his next target is the next Ferrari of David. His teammate, meanwhile, has finally got some clean air. Can he catch him? But he's gone understeering wide, and he's lost the position there to Nexus, or is Nexus not quite far enough alongside? He's going to try and do the switch if he possibly can, but Fury's got it covered. Fury running a little bit wide there, catching himself out a little bit, I would say, as Ripper already onto the back of Breeze, who's probably suffering from damage with the contact of Emprava.
Emprava. Did you see any of the interesting things that happened in Pro-Am last night, Dan?
I did not. I had internet issues, but I heard it was dramatic.
Yeah. Never believe the in-game race engineer. I've learnt that now. He is a, yeah. That's all I'm saying there.
So David leading the way with quite a relatively good gap to Shane. PN, what lap times are these boys doing? It's
We
Fury.
can't actually see that.
You can if you go in drive.
Yeah, well, then I've got to wait for someone to cross the line, haven't we? If I go to drive, I can actually change camera angle.
So David out front is doing a 43.0 with Shane. I think behind he's probably slightly quicker. No, he's done a 43.2. So Shane is just matching the leader at a minute, but he just seems to be in a better groove right now. With David setting his fastest lap that last lap.
He's pulled away from Shane as well.
Oh, he's got 9 tenths. He was 1.2 ahead of him, so Shane's actually brought that gap down ever so slightly. Oh, as we see, Peaceful, he's had a moment as Gary 121 comes over the crest. So Peaceful Explosion's had a moment, and Gary is just not quite able to get the job done there. And Peaceful, round he goes, and back the order he goes.
Pit window's about to open.
It is indeed, as Gary's looking to try and make the move. Breeze, meanwhile, is still trying to heavily defend from Ripper, and I guarantee you that that McLaren is wounded. There is the pit window. Who is going to be the first to pit? That is the question. And David, Shane, and Euro all looking so calm and collected out in front.
Yeah, oh, David a little wide there on the corner that now is all banked in Formula 1.
As Breeze is looking a little bit slow out of the chicane. He's got Ripper and
Shane's
Camel,
pitted.
the two teammates together. Shane into the pits. Is he going to get a job done? I mean, it's touching the white line has got to be fine, surely, because it is such a tricky pit lane. Into the pits comes Breeze and
Camel.
Camel, and I think Camel might have touched that white line. In comes Overtaker. He looks all right, and then Gary 131 is into the pits, Wolfinator, and then Plava. So your leader is still David, with Shane coming in relatively early. That's an early call. But it's Ferrari 1-2 again.
I'm going to the helicam, so I can see the white line even better. Yeah.
So what can Fury do now? He's got a little bit of clean air. He's got no traffic. Nexus is, I think, struggling ever so slightly here. He's lost a lot of time to Fury. Ripper has also got clean air as well. So now, so what I ended up figuring out in the Retia Tuesday night was that if I was far enough in front, and I had clean air, and I had no issues, and no one coming out in front of me, just keep going, pumping in the lap time, stay consistent. Fury and Ripper now have got an opportunity where people are coming to the pits, they've got to change tyres, they've got to change pressures.
Camel's jumped Breeze.
Camel has jumped Breeze. Breeze obviously still repairing that damage. He did hit Emprava relatively hard. Overtaker's past him as well, as has Gary 131. So all these guys jumping Breeze out of the pits. So the question is now, who's going to pit next? With the clear air, you're consistent, you're able to keep pushing and doing the lap times that you want to do. David down the main straight with Euro behind him. Fury is in third. Is Fury going to pit? No, he stays out as well.
Just Nexus pit. Yeah, he's over to the right, so, yep. Benny's coming into the pits.
He's committed to pit lane. Ripper now. See, this man's I'm going to be interested to see. He is now on his own, is Ripper. What lap times is he doing? He's just done a 42.7. Meanwhile, the guys in front are doing 43s. Peaceful's just done a 43.3. So that's the kind of lap times at the minute that Ripper is doing. Now he's got clean air.
There's Palava's. exited the pits.
Meanwhile, Gary and Overtaker are relatively close.
Nexus
Oh,
is
Gary's
not
had a
in the
moment.
box.
Gary's had a moment. He's gone round. He now loses out to Breeze. He's not going to lose out to Emplava, luckily. But, yeah, that's another place that Gary has lost. Nexus, meanwhile, is in the pits. He should be able to stay ahead of Camel, but he won't stay ahead of Shane. Shane quietly minding his own business and staying consistent, which is nice to see from Shane.
Shane's had a rough season, really, in Pro, haven't he?
He's definitely had a season where he's now realised that the level of Pro-Am to Pro is massive. You know, you've gone from a league where the guys are relatively similar pace. You're all close to racing one another. Or used to be. But you're now into Pro, and the guys are just on another level. You have to be squeaky clean near enough every single lap. As David now exits the final corner, and he continues on for another cycle. Will Euro bail for the pits? No. Fury is now starting to creep onto the back of him. 7.1 behind Fury, though, is this man, Ripper, who again also opts to carry on. He comes to the line. What lap time is this going to be? It's a 42.4. And the guys in front, are they matching him? That is the question.
Well, Fury's rapidly now gaining on Euro. Now he's got clear air.
Well, Fury has done a 42.6, so he is actually matching Ripper. But Euro, I think, is struggling, and David, I think, is just matching Euro. So these two Ferraris are now starting to become under pressure.
Under pressure? Oh, wait, I want a cue to sing Queen. Damn. As I'm in Helicam. Lovely view for Helicam. Did you have a...
I mean, I wouldn't like it. I feel sick. I'm scared of heights, so I wouldn't get in that helicopter whether if I wanted to or not. And Plava's coming to the pits again. Has he put the dries on? A lot of people was making that mistake this week, haven't they?
Well, my engineer said slicks optimum. It wasn't my fault. And I didn't have time to change the pressures of them. It was a pit lane, so Lincoln short here, unlike Spa, where you have plenty of time to check your tyre pressures.
Right, so Fury now within 9/10 of Euro. This is pretty much your closest fight on track, and it is Euro ahead of the Lexus. We've now got Nexus, who's back into the pits. Has he done the same thing? Let's go on board with him. Yes, he's on dries, so he's accidentally put the dry tyres on. David carries on. Euro's now losing even more pace to him. As Fury now crosses the line, he's only 9/10 behind him as Ripper comes towards the line. And he's still 7.3. He's matching Fury, so Fury might be in a very good position here. But he does have to try and clear Euro and David. Oh. So, does that technically class as crossing the white line? Because he's ended up using the wall to stay on track.
He was over the speed limit because that's how Mike's worded it. Once you pass the speed limit line. Yeah. And plus he would have lost sport time for smacking the wall. He did the David Coulthard in Adelaide 1995, where he crashed into the pit wall. That car was speeding.
Euro's really struggling here. He's now lost. He was 9/10 ahead of Fury. Fury is now right on the rear wing of that Ferrari. The one thing he has got to keep an eye out here, Fury, is that his teammate Shane has pitted. He's in clean air. No one's around him. If Shane's pumping in some decent lap times, what is he doing? He's on a 43.3. So now Shane's on his own. He's got no one around him. He can mind his own business and focus what he's doing. He can now start to extend his gap while Fury is now onto the back of Euro and being held up.
David's got that traffic in front of him, so now would be a good idea to pit. But
and Plava, what was that about?
He's in on slicks as Euro now follows him into pit lane.
I do not know, but that from Emplava was interesting there. Did he lock the rears? He did cross the white line to get into pit lane. Ripper is into the pit, so Fury's opted to do the long game. He obviously was watching me last night, wasn't he? Oh, he's touched the curb!
Fury, keep your head down and clean. As
Wolfinator's
Wolfie
in. So it is literally just Fury left to pit. And Plava, though. Oh, that was sketchy into the pits.
That might have to be investigated, naughty Empalava.
Right, so Shane is now in the final sector. He's in the penultimate corner. Where is David? David is not gone away. Has he got to repair the damage now caused by Emplava? No, he's dropped. He's gone. So is Euro. So
Euro?
he hasn't. Oh, he sped in the pits though. David sped in the pits and he's crossed the white line. So that's an easy slam dunk there for him, as Euro nearly did the same thing but stopped himself. There's Ripper. Where's Shane? Shane's already into turn 1. So Euro's got ahead of Shane. The problem that Shane has now is he's got Ripper right behind now and he's just missed his brakes and tapped the rear of Euro. Euro's gone wide, off track. Shane's now waiting for him to return back to track and they've made more contact.
As Wolfie's still on the ground.
While all this is going on, Fury is out in front. He's avoided the trouble. He'll have to pit this lap. And in he comes. Don't cross that white line as he's coming into the pits. Squeaky clean as you like. Fury nails it. So, I think our net leader now will be Fury, as Shane has jumped Euro. Because David will have to serve his drive-through. He's dropped it as well.
And he's also in for a 30-second, no ifs, no buts. He's left the session. So David's retired.
David has retired and he will carry a qualifying ban into possibly the next round, which will be Silverstone. Fury's into the pits. Now, Shane could be an absolute legend of a teammate here. And hold... Oh, there's a car in the middle of the track. That is Emplava. He's facing the wrong way. And he's just hit David as well. Sorry, not David, Euro. And around he's gone. Killer Camel is just coming through that sector as well. So Shane, Fury's now been dropped. He gets going. Shane's in the final corner. This is going to be tight. Fury on pit exit. He's now been released. Shane has held up Ripper and has allowed Fury to take this lead. Fury now leads the race.
David just said something in Discord. Is it a Teletubby 1-2?
It is a Teletubby Motorsport 1-2 right now. No pressure on Shane. He's now going to try and keep that very, very fast Audi behind him, which is going to be a challenge. Euro, meanwhile, has got Killer Camel and the... as Euro's gone wide, he's gone off, and he's allowed the cars to go through. He's done a sensible job there and just avoided coming back on track dangerously there. He's done a great job of that. Overtaker, meanwhile, has recovered up to 6th. He's not had the best race one, but watch out for him race 2, where he can be able to qualify.
But Fury...
Oh, Wolfinator's in the wall now. All these guys just seem to be struggling. Are they putting the slicks on? Gary's got damage to the front end of his car. But meanwhile, Ripper is still trying to find a way past on Shane. But does he really need to risk this? He could just take another podium again.
He can. He's pretty much got one hand on the trophy.
His closest rival is Breeze, and he's behind Overtaker. Meanwhile, he's looking at Shane. He's looking into the chicane. But Shane, all he has to do is focus on hitting his braking points, get good exit out of the corner, and Ripper won't be able to find a way through. He has to just nail the traction zones. That's all he has to do.
Yep, this is really strong. This is a really strong race by Shane. Very impressive this week.
It is a very, very good race, but we don't want to curse him just yet, because he's still got to try and defend from Ripper. Ripper right on the rear wing of that Lexus. He's going to look to the inside. Shane stays where he is. I would have defended that inside a bit more, Shane. And that is it. Ripper has gone through. And he's on the curb. And again. But he's hanging it there. Shane's still there.
Shane's still there. This is brilliant racing by these two. And Ripper's through into turn 3.
Ripper is through and Shane drops down a position. He drops to 3rd, but still Teletubby Motorsport 1 and 3. And then it's Killer Performance 2 and 4. So really, the Lexuses and the Audi are looking very good round here.
Yeah, David's going off on things on Discord, by the way. But unless he puts footage in, we can't do nothing about it.
Yeah. Nothing we can do about it now, but either way, we've just focused on what's going on track.
Come on,
And-
Fury, keep it tidy, mate. Keep it tidy. Don't start pushing too hard.
So Fury,
Fury's got Overtaker on him.
he has got Overtaker. Overtaker gets down the
Overtaker's
inside.
passed.
He is passed into the right-hander. He goes, and Euro loses another place there. And Overtaker moves up into P5. How far away is Killer Camel? He's a couple of corners ahead, plus a car between them of M. Plava. So M. Plava's race has just gone from bad to worse. He's 2 laps down, I think, on Nexus, who's still on the lead lap, but only just. The other guys who struggled here was Peaceful, Gary, and Wolfinator. Gary's gone wide, and he's gone round, and he's going to be wishing he is not driving that Porsche right now.
He's got to want to be in the cup car, isn't he? As we say good evening to Peaceful Step in chat. As he's also saying good evening to everyone. Gary is still stationary.
If you guys haven't done so, then please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified. Also, have a look down in our bio as well. As you can see, our fabulous sponsors of Audio Sport and Made Manchester as well. So if you want anything to do with those guys, then please have a look at their links below. Get involved, and if you want to be a part of SimPlay Racing, then head over to SimGrid so you can get yourself signed up to the season. Which will be coming, obviously, we're mostly through this season, so you can sign up for next season and get as many people as we can in the championship. Porsche Super Cup is also still available. I think there's still seats available for that one as well. So
Yeah,
you can race. So if you fancy stopping Fury in Porsche Super Cup, then feel free to sign up. But yeah,
I think Gary's wheel's disconnected because he's not moved.
I don't know if his wheel's disconnected or he's beached it.
Let me just change to heavy cam. He has beached it. He's beached on the curb.
Are you able to
Ed
get...
Palava's just hit him.
I think that's what's happened there. So Gary was beached, and Plava's gone and assisted him and moved him off the... Oh
Yeah,
my
Gary
God.
was beached. He was beached on his rear diffuser. Oh.
So race 1 has come to a dramatic end, with Gary getting stuck. Fury's lost time here. So Fury has actually lost time to Ripper. 4 seconds is the gap. Shane, meanwhile, has had a fantastic race here at Zandvoort. He's sitting in P3. Killer Camel's only now in the final exit of the corner. Nexus is into the pits. So really, this is your fight between Teletubby Motorsport and Killer Performance.
As Nexus just said in YouTube chat, accidentally switched to the TV cams. God damn it. Whoops. I did that. I've got 2 controller settings now. One for doing all the cameras and one for racing. I would have to remember to switch to the racing button to big.
As we just see Wolfinator, he's now caught Euro, and he's got Danny inside of turn 1. So Wolfinator slowly working his way back up the order.
Got the car backwards again. It's Overtaker.
Overtaker off now. So Overtaker's made a mistake. So these pro boys making loads of mistakes, and he just avoids Green Wolfinator there. So your order now is Fury leading the way. Oh, Fury's on the grass. Oh, don't want to be doing that too many times, Fury. Not with Ripper breathing down your neck. But it's Fury leading the way. Neck. Ripper in second, Shane is in third, fourth is Killer Camel. Those are the Teletubby Motorsport and Killer Performance guys. Then you got Breeze, best of the rest, in P5 with Wolfinator in P6. Gary facing the wrong way. 7th is Overtaker, Euro in 8th. Peaceful is in 9th with Gary 121 in 10th. Nexus is into the pits and M. Plava bringing up the rear. But it's now starting the hot up between Overtaker and Wolfinator. As Overtaker's had a mistake, he's gone round. And now he's trying to work his way up the order, but he can't quite do that because Wolfinator is in front of him. Meanwhile, Fury did have a 4-second gap. He's lost a second to Ripper, and that's probably bouncing on the grass. He's literally only got 3 minutes to go, and he'll win this race.
Yeah. He's even if he lost a second a lap, he's still just going to win this, isn't he?
He is, and obviously it's one thing catching, it's another thing overtaking. So Fury right now is just doing everything he needs to do. He just needs to keep it facing the right way, keep it on track, and hold it together. and he will have won the first race tonight. It'll be his first win of the season. Meanwhile, Overtaker looking to make a move on Wolfinator, goes to the outside. I can't quite get the job done there.
Yeah. He's only lost 2 temp sectors, so come on. Can't have favourites in this race, but I wouldn't mind Fury winning, but it boosts his confidence even more. As we've got Hitman in chat now.
Wolfinator just has a wiggle there, and he's lost out to Overtaker there as Hitman comes to support him, and he loses out a position there. Fury goes into the chicane, 2.5 ahead of Ripper. Fury at the minute, he's gonna hang in there, I think, as they will have one more lap to go as Fury will start the final lap.
He was slow through the chicane because he was on the curb. You don't want to do that in the wet.
No, you don't. So Fury into the final corner. He can see the man who's been dominating all season coming up behind him. Ripper really pushing the limits here. Fury crosses the line. The gap is 1.8. Another second been taken out of Fury. He will just hang in there, I think, but he needs to keep it squeaky clean. Shane, meanwhile, has had a fantastic drive. He's just got to finish as well in third. Camel not quite able to catch him just yet, but he's had a solid P4 at the minute. I think that is really the fight now, is just to see where this fight between Ripper and Fury will end. Fury is really hanging in there. Ripper is flying. What lap times is Ripper doing at the minute? He's in the 42.1s was his last lap. So Fury really has to start being super consistent and holding on. His last lap was a 43.1. So Fury, he's feeling the pressure here. 1.1 now. Ripper is right there.
Yeah. It's sort of do in the last lap. Fury, don't look in your mirrors. Just don't look in your mirrors now. You will see a wide Audi coming.
And he's got to have the widest Lexus. I think Fury just has to survive the chicane, and he would have done it, I think. 1.2, so the gap opened up a little bit in the middle sector, but not a massive amount. So Fury into the chicane. Ripper is right there, so Fury avoids the curbs this time. And on exit, he, I think, will just do it. Ripper gave everything. He threw everything at Fury, but Fury is going to hang in there into the penultimate corner, into the final corner. The Lexus is going to get another win and go ahead of the Retia. Damn it. As Fury is going to come home, he will win the first race here tonight. Fury wins. Ripper with a fantastic drive to P2. Shane is on the podium. What a drive from Shane. Fantastic stuff there from him. Awesome stuff. And he comes home and scores his first podium of the season. Here comes Camel. He's going to come home in P4. It is all about Teletubby Motorsport and killer performance. They've had an amazing night worth of racing here for those guys, as I think Ripper and Fury are giving each other some respect here. Great racing from those two. Breeze is going to exit the final corner. He will finish in 5th. Another solid points for him, as we see in the background. And Prava, he's going to come towards the line and finish in 10th. He has been off. Is he going to just hang in there as he's got Green Wolfinator hunting him down? But it's going to be Overtaker from Wolfinator in 7th. Euro is now into the final corner, as Fury, I think, is going to do some donuts. No, he's just rolling around. But Euro now exits the final corner. He comes to 8th place. We then should have Peaceful and Nexus to cross the line in 9th and 12th. Bringing up the rear is Gary 131. Wow, what a dramatic end to that. Ripper not quite close enough, but Fury, a well-deserved win on that one. But wow, Shane for me was the man of the night so far. Brilliant stuff from him. Gary home.
Gary coming home on slicks.
What a lad.
What a lad. I don't know anyone else from East Anglia who would finish the race on slicks. Oh yeah, me and Smithy. Smithy did it as well. He put slicks on.
This is your race 1 winner, Fury. He's drifting the Lexus. Congratulations, Fury, from Ripper, from Shane. Great racing from those guys. As we will now go to a quick break. Make sure you tune in a few moments' time, where we will have a race 2 underway as well. We will have normal qualifying, and we will see if Fury can take 2 for 2. That is the question. Can he do what he do in Porsche Cup? Grab yourselves a quick drink. Grab yourself a couple of snacks. Get yourself ready to go.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Watch me elevate. I was born to win, watch me elevate. I was born to win, watch me elevate. All in when I show up, whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watch me elevate. Watch me elevate. I was born to win, watch me elevate. I was born to win, watch me elevate.
Broken dreams in my pocket, golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, 'cause you caught it, you caught it. You're golden, golden, honestly you know it. Meet under the street like at the so I could show you. You're golden, golden, honestly you're glowing. Meet under the mezzanine just so that I could show you. You're golden, yeah, you're golden. You're golden, yeah, you're golden, golden, yeah. hold my hand in the darkness. Summer heat, bodies laid on the carpet. Eye to eye, glistening, no, I saw it. I saw it. You're golden, golden, honestly you know it. Me under the street light at the end so I could show you. You're golden, golden, honestly you glow it. Me under the mezzanine just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. You're golden. Golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. You know it. Yeah, you're golden. Golden. Golden, golden, honestly you know it. Me under the street or at the end so I could show you. Golden, golden, honestly you know it. Me under the golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. You're golden.
getting hype when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate.
Go live anyway.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SimPlay Motorsport as we are about to get underway for the second qualifying. A few drivers on qualifying bans for this one, as we should have on a qualifying ban. We should have Fury, Breeze, Shane and Wolfinator all should be on a qualifying ban, as Fury is in the pits, as is Breeze, Shane and Wolfinator as well. Peaceful is the other. He can go out and qualify, but he's at the minute in the pits. So, welcome back. Let's have a quick look at the championship standings after that first race. Fury, obviously, with a fantastic win to his name, would have definitely added himself into some decent points in that one. Shane, also with a decent drive of himself, will also give himself a great opportunity to work himself up the order. Regarding the championship, though, it looks like this. Ripper leading the way ahead of Mathew, 97 points ahead of him. Breeze is still not quite on the back of Matt, even though Matt is not here racing. He might be dropping down the order ever so slightly. He will be dropping down the order. P3 is Breeze, P4 is Fury. He's made quite a jump, as also he's gone ahead of Overtaker, Killer Camel and Wolfinator. So good points for Fury there. Killer Camel was in 5th with Overtaker in 6th. Wolfinator is P7, P8 is Peaceful Explosion, P9 is Nexus, P10 is Benno, 11th is Emprava, 12th is De Silva. Shane 13th and just keeping himself just in this championship fight with Gary 131 in 14th. He is on the cusp of being knocked out of the championship. Hitman is the first man to be knocked out of this championship, with Euro also in 16th, knocked out with T in 17th. 18th is David and 19th is F1 Billow. Regarding the team's championships, it's Killer Performance ahead of Jaeger Motorsport, but only just, as SimPlay Racing are in P3. But Teletubby Motorsports have brought themselves back into this championship fight. They are only now 6 points behind SimPlay Racing and only a handful of points behind Jaeger Motorsport as well. JWB Esports Racing have dropped to 5th. 6th is JWB Sports Racing 2, and in 7th place is Button Basher Racing. Regarding the manufacturers, Lexus is the one that made the jump. McLaren still leading the way, Bentley with Ferrari in 3rd. Lexus is now in 4th, as Porsche are in 5th. 6th is Aston Martin. 7th is Honda. 8th is Audi. 9th is BMW. Mercedes in 10th. 11th is Nissan. Retia 12th. Lamborghini 13th. And the Jaguar in 14th place position. That is the order, PN. And we go into qualifying. Everyone can qualify now, other than the 4 that is carrying a qualifying ban. That is Fury, Shane, Breeze and Green Wolfinator as well. So, relatively quiet track. It is Euro who's going to be the first man to set a lap time as he exits the final corner towards the line. What is the lap time to beat? It is a 46.9. Overtaker probably a bit quicker than that. Yes, he's done a 43.6. Then we got Gary 131. He comes towards the line. No lap time for him. Then the man we will keep an eye on, Ripper, towards the line. He only goes within 0.2 of Overtaker's lap time. Then we look at the 57, I believe. Yes, it is. It is Nexus exiting the final corner in the Audi. How get on at Alton in them cup cars? God knows Smoky Devil is going to be a nightmare. Let's put it that way. As Nexus goes P3, and we then look towards Camel and Peaceful. And I believe also Emplava still yet to set a lap time. Emplava is actually towing the back of his teammate at the minute.
Overtaker's just on return to pits. Yeah, Emplava's on an invalid lap because he's got a light blue dot. Peaceful's on a valid lap.
So
you've got Smoky Devil in the chat.
We have got Smoky Devil in the chat. Peaceful Explosion enters the final corner. Where is this going to be? Currently 5th at the minute. Is he able to get himself a decent lap time, get himself ahead of Euro and Nexus? He goes P3. Meanwhile, Killer Camel behind him. He goes P3. And it's just only 0.6 off of Ripper.
Next person coming around will be Euro in the sole Ferrari now. Because I don't think David's coming back this week.
Yeah, I don't believe I don't think David will be returning for this one, and he will obviously have to carry that qualifying ban into the next round at Silverstone. Euro towards line, he stays where he is, but he does get within 1.7 of Overtaker's time. Overtaker putting in a decent banker there, as you got another car coming towards the final corner. Ripper has gone faster. He's got a second faster than Overtaker, so Overtaker needs to get his skates on and go quicker. Gary 131 to the line, still no lap time from him. Who's in the final corner? That is Nexus in the Audi. What can he do? This Audi sounds fantastic.
Oh, the V10 sounds wonderful, doesn't it?
It
the V10
does.
Audi.
Indeed. Nexus now goes ahead of Peaceful.
Ironically, it's the same Audi engine that's in the Huracan.
It is indeed, and what an amazing engine it is. Unlike this Honda that sounds really dull. As Peaceful, very much lawnmower. Peaceful into the chicane. He's also got his teammate behind him and Killer Camel as well. So all three of these guys look like they're on a valid lap. So can Peaceful get himself any higher than P5? Can Emplava get himself ahead of Wolfinator, who's carrying a qualifying ban? Can Gary get ahead of all of them?
Just set a lap. Any lap.
Peaceful to the line. Any improvement?
Yes.
Yes,
P3.
he goes P3, and Emplava goes P6, and Camel goes P3 instead of Peaceful now. So he's within a second. He's in a 10th of Overtaker. So Overtaker is under some pressure from Camel. But it is Ripper who's leading the way at the minute. Who is that in the final corner? That would be Euro in the Ferrari. Here he comes as Hypertech is in the chat. Nice to see you all in the chat. Let's hear from you guys as Euro crosses the line. He now goes P5, and we now look to the dominating Audi of Ripper. What can he do at the minute? Can he extend his gap? He does find a couple more tenths. It's now Overtaker who will start a lap here. What can he do? Gary 131 is finally on a valid lap. This will now put him ahead of the non-qualifiers, and towards the line he goes 8th. Gary's he is really struggling tonight, isn't he?
He doesn't like the GT3s, I don't think. I think he prefers to support the cup cars. Or tune in on Sunday to see Gary 131 racing, and also a certain Dan Davis in the 16 Porsche.
Who's he? I don't think that guy's very good in the Porsche Cup cars. Don't watch him. As Peaceful comes,
he's better than Mathew.
Mate, I'm not even good in either of them, let's be honest. Peaceful Explosion into the final sector. He comes just ahead of his teammate. These three just seems to be in a little train with one another. And so far, Peaceful is the train leading them out. Emplava's gone wide. He's invalidated his lap time. And I think Camel has lifted so he can get himself some clean air and not get stuck behind these Hondas. As now comes Peaceful Explosion towards the line. Any improvement? No. Emplava invalid his lap time, so no improvement from him. Camel obviously backing off so he can get some clean air, and he will start his next lap. We then go back to the top of the group, which was Euro.
You know, of clubbing around the final corner, which now is banked, but they have never updated it on Assetto Corsa. They've not even done it on the PS5 and PC version. As Juvo dives to the pit lane.
He does opt to pit. So who is then next to come towards the line? It is Ripper. Can he extend his gap? 42.4 at the minute. Any improvement? He finds a couple of hundreds here and there, but that is it. As now Overtaker towards like, oh, he gets within 500ths of Ripper. That is close. These two are going to be going for it at the start of this race for sure. As I believe that is Gary 131 towards the line. Any lap time improvement? No, he stays P8.
And next car's invalid, which was Nexus. It is.
And then we go to the duo of SimPlay Racing of Peaceful and Emprava. Peaceful Explosion at the minute just outdoing his teammate at the moment, but right now they would be wanting to outdo a few more of the others right now, but Emprava is right on the back of Peaceful here. Looks like he's found a little bit more time this lap, and he's on a valid lap. We'll keep an eye out for Camel though. He's looking quite quick in his Lexus.
Overtaker's just gone off.
He has gone off and is back into the pits. A few of these guys will be returning to pits. Peaceful really pushing the limits there of the track. Trying to find every 10th he can. No improvement. Emprava, no improvement. Oh, he does improve and goes to P5 behind his teammate. Killer Camel, he finds a little bit more time, but not that much.
As Ripper's back out on track. Because it's like, ooh, Overtaker's close, I've got to go faster.
Yeah, he needs to make sure he secures that pole position either way. Whatever he chooses to do, he wants to be on that inside line going into turn one. It's really the only place you want to be, especially in these wet conditions, as we see Emo Guy also in the chat. The fact that that fastest lap in Quali 2 is both a 10th faster than the fastest AM lap in free practice says a lot.
It's also wetter than it was in AM.
It is much wetter, as Ripper is currently on an invalid lap time, so it is Nexus who is on the next valid lap time. And I think some of these guys might accept what they've got. Gary's trying to find a bit more pace as Nexus runs wide and invalidates his lap time. Next to car, as we got Peaceful Explosion exiting the pits. Ripper will not be too keen to see the Honda and the Porsche of Gary ahead of him. And yeah, Ripper and Overtaker are in such another level here. They're looking very, very fast in these wet conditions.
They are, aren't they?
Camel's not being too shabby either. I mean, he's 1.3, but he's still a good few seconds behind, a good second behind these guys just on raw lap pace. But the Lexus was very good in the race, very consistent, very planted, and I think that's kind of the setup that Lexus has and it needs for Camel. At least he'll be near the front and be able to try and score some decent points. Towards the line, no improvement, as Overtaker did invalidate his lap time, and he is going to start his final attempt. Gary 131 on track. He's just ahead of Nexus, but the man who's on a lap time at the minute is this man. It is Ripper, and he's now coming on to the back of Peaceful Explosion.
Yep, let's see if Peaceful realises that Nexus is on the valid lap and he's not yet. He's moved over straight away. As Ripper does a friendly thank you flash.
And into the chicane comes Ripper. 42.4 at the minute. Can he extend the gap? 500ths at the minute separating him and Overtaker as he exits the final, or enters the final corner.
Off again.
Overtaker really is trying to push and find the limits here, isn't he?
Yeah.
But
Ripper was wide.
Ripper was wide. Has he found more time? No, he hasn't. So Gary 131 behind. He's not on a lap time either. It is Nexus who's on the next lap time. Any improvement? 2.3 off the pace. He finds a couple of hundredths, but not enough to get him any higher. Euro is done. He won't be coming back out. So every other car that's able to qualify is out on track, and it is Killer Camel who is next to come across the line.
And he will get across with enough time to get another lap in as well.
He will do. I think it will be pretty much everyone will be able to sneak another lap time in, probably, except for Camel, he'll come towards the line now, and this will be his final attempt. Towards the line he comes. Any improvement? No, he stays P3 as it is at the minute. So, man currently on a lap time is this man, Ripper. The two in front of him, Overtaker and Embrava, are both on invalid lap times. So, can Ripper finally find that couple of tenths that he needs? Will he be able to sneak in another lap? That's another question.
Well, yeah, when he crossed the line, there was still 1 minute 44 on the clock. So, if this is another 42, yeah, easily.
Into the chicane he comes, takes a lot of curb. He's all over the other curb as well, and it doesn't seem to phase him. He seems quite comfortable on the curbs. Ooh. Oh, he's a little bit loose on that one. I say that.
I don't know, when you watch the test, everyone test on the server, Ripper runs a different car than this one, a different livery.
Oh,
whoa, he's giving it. Oh,
he's leaving. He gave everything there, and it was not an improvement. He's really testing the limits. Peaceful, what? Any improvement from him? No improvement from Peaceful either. So Peaceful will sneak in one more lap. So Ripper does get that lap time. Meanwhile, the car behind them is Nexus. He's now done for the session. Who is then next to come towards the line? I think it is Camel.
Camel's off.
Oh, Camel's had a big moment. In the wall he goes. And that'll be him done for the session. It is now down to Overtaker in the McLaren. What can he do?
Come on, Fernando. Oh, the curbs are going to be lava.
For Ripper, he seems to be all over them. As Overtaker comes into the final few corners here. Penultimate corner towards the final corner. Any improvement from him? Can he steal pole away from Ripper? Even though Ripper... Oh no! There we go! Overtaker has lost the opportunity to take pole position. Only one man can take it away now that it's Peaceful. And he's been struggling on pace most of the night. I don't think he's going to take pole. Can Ripper rub salt into the wound? He's now dropped it. He will take... So Ripper goes round. He loses that one. And Peaceful is done as well. So it is Ripper once again on pole position. Great stuff there from... And I've actually remembered to return back to pits.
So did I.
And we get driver of the day for that.
Commentator of the day. Yeah.
So we will now get the... poll going on who you think is going to take this one. A reminder as well, while I'm doing this, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified so you do not miss anything here at SimPlay Motorsport. Also have a look at our great supporters down below in the bio of Audio Sport and Made Manchester, and have a look at their links. Give them a like and subscribe to any of their channels or subscriptions. It helps them out massively and it helps us out here as well. PN, we now go into the second race. We've got Ripper and Overtaker on the front row, only separated by one another by 500ths after that qualifying session. Who, in your opinion, looks like the one to be on top? We've also got Peaceful in P4. What can he do from there? Prediction on race winner.
If you don't bid it, Overtaker.
You're going with Overtaker this time. I am...
Put the commentator curse on him again.
Well, there you go, guys. There's your votes. You can get in now and choose who you think is going to win this one. Overtaker has already got one to his name. I'm going to go Killer Camel.
Well... We were both wrong in race one. We
were both wrong, yeah. So I think it's going to be Ripper anyway. But if Ripper and Overtaker fight, Peaceful could win, says Smoky Devil. That's a bold call. Yeah. I actually think Ripper and Overtaker could have a tangle, and Camel could be the one, I think. With that Lexus looking very dominant, very comfortable with Chain and Fury and Camel in the top four, I think that Lexus is one to keep an eye on.
Yeah. So, I admit, Ripper's been very clean this season. He's been so clean the whole season, he has.
He has indeed. So it is Ripper who starts on par with Overtaker starting alongside him. Then it's Camel in P3. Then it's the two SimPlay Hondas of Peaceful and Brava. Then we got Euro in P6 with Nexus in P7. 8th will be Gary 131. 9th will be the first of the non-qualifiers. That is Wolfinator, followed by Shane, then Breeze, and then Fury, your race winner at the back of the pack. Now, with these guys at the back of the pack, what would be the best strategy in this case? Because obviously the first couple laps are going to be a bit pushy shovey. You might have the mid-pack guys trying to push their way through as fast as they can. Is it just best for the likes of Fury and Shane just to hold back, let them all squabble and try and get into a rhythm? Or is it you got to get in and get involved?
I think with the pace of Ripper and Overtaker, you've got to have to get involved. Now.
Daz says that Overtaker will drop it. So we'll have a look at the votes so far. 4 of you have voted, and Ripper has got 2, Overtaker 1, Camel for 1 as well. Fury.
I just saw lag. I think I just saw Benny Nexus lag out. Yeah, he's off the road. I'm not going to go to him.
It tends to be at this time of the evening that Nexus seems to struggle with lag. Hopefully, it will be able to sort itself out and he can get back in and race. But
his car is still there, but I just saw it like disappear, and yeah, I can't even see his car on the cameras. I think he's on the other side of the barrier. He's now trying to try across the North Sea and come to Alton Park and race Porsches.
Nexus has dropped to the back of the pad. Don't see him really making this start of this race. I think he's hoping and praying that it will sort itself out, but I don't think it will. So a reminder as well, Ripper, insert curse words. Yeah, he's had an issue. He's lagged out, so he's not happy whatsoever. He's returned to the pits, I think. Yeah, he has. Yeah, right. So Ripper, Overtaker, front row. This is going to be an interesting fight. McLaren versus Audi. Honda and Lexus behind, but who's going to come out on top? German versus Britain.
Oh, we've been here before, twice in history. And how did that work out for the Germans? Oh yeah, they lost.
The Japanese are lining up behind with the Lexus and the Honda breathing down their necks, but it is going to be the Germans. It's going to be Audi versus McLaren. Overtaker versus Ripper into turn 1. Who is going to come out on top? Nexus sadly in the pits, but we are now race initialized. We're going to go green here at Zandvoort for race 2 here. And it is Overtaker to the outside. Ripper looking to the inside to defend. Camel is just keeping his nose in just to see what happens into turn 1. Overtaker around the outside. There's a bit more grip to the outside, but he gets a little bit twitchy. And Overtaker goes wide. And Camel have come together.
Oh, messy by them two.
Killer Camel and Overtaker both affected by the curse. They've both gone round, and where Ripper and Camel was going to come together, it is the other way around. The two SimPlay Racing boys have dropped right down to the back. What has happened to those two?
Try maybe avoid Camel and Overtaker coming together. Do you know who's just snuck up into second though?
There is Euro. Fury's in third, and Shane's in P4. Yeah. Shane and Fury are P3 and 4. Whoever's voted for Fury at the minute is looking like an odds-on bet if Ripper has a mistake. But Euro, a decent start for him, kept his nose clean, kept out of the way, and he's in P2 again. Fury P3, Shane P4, Gary 131 in P5, Wolfinator P6, Breeze 7, Peaceful is in 8. Ninth will be Brava once this thing is updated, and Overtaker 11th. Nexus has got into the race, but he is a lap down. Overtaker heavy damage to the front, but it is Ripper who leads out in front, and Euro under some immense pressure once again from Fury CBK.
I bet you Fury's like over the moon with that. That's better than Mystic Meg me. Yeah, but yeah, you just need to avoid a wayward Bentley that's in blue and yellow and Pro-Am. I've said Benno is moving. Someone's around in final turn. I can't see the number. I think it's Wolfie.
Yeah, that's like Wolfinator has gone round, but we are looking at this scrap between Euro and Fury at the minute. They're having a great little scrap. Shane's having the drive of his night. He's having a great time here. He's having a great race, and he's got Gary 131 behind him, so Gary's not an easy guy to overtake. So Breeze is going to have a bit of time struggling to get past that Porsche. But Wolfinator drops to the back of the pack. Killer Camel struggling with damage there as the rest of the guys come wandering their way through the order. But Ripper is out way in front, 3.4 ahead of Euro, and who is going to catch him? That is the question. Euro, meanwhile, is just staying ahead of Fury and just about can see the back end of the Audi.
Yeah, Fury just can't get impatient.
Fury's just touched the grass. He's gone wide. He's made the mistake. And he just keeps it together. Nearly drops the rear again. But luckily, Gary's had a moment. And Breeze is nowhere near him. And Peaceful Explosion has now gone ahead of Breeze.
Yeah, luckily, though, Fury only lost a position to his teammate, Shane. So Shane's back on the podium.
Shane is back on the podium. So Ripper leading the way, Euro in second, Shane third, Fury now fourth, Peaceful up into fifth, and we got Breeze in sixth, then Plava seventh, Killer Camel eighth, Overtaker in ninth. He's trying to pass the lapping Nexus. Gary 131 10th, Wolfinator 11th, and Nexus is in 12th. He's going to have to let Overtaker through soon. But once again, Ripper leading the way quite comfortably ahead of Euro, 4.1 ahead of the two Teletubbies Motorsport. Oh, Breeze! A big hit against the wall. He's going to have major damage to the front of that McLaren. Oh, it's Killer Camel's just trying to hang in there in the background, and Plava's going to go around the outside. Oh,
whoa,
Breeze!
To hit a bit of wall that stuck out of the pit lane. He did, because he was right down, looking down the inside of Camel.
And if anybody says that the commentator's curse doesn't exist, it definitely does.
It very much does. I mean, I cursed you dead on Tuesday.
Yeah, you did. He was not too happy about that, let's put it that way. So, Ripper from Euro, and now Shane is his teammate trying to bring a catch onto the back of him. It's all happening. There's Emperava is trying to find a way past Breeze, who's got a wounded McLaren. He's clobbered the wall a few times. So Overtaker, I think, has passed Killer Camel. Yes, he has. And meanwhile, Nexus has got a clean Audi that's faster than these two, and he passes them and then has to let them go again.
Yeah, that's some of the trouble with Blue Flag.
I think if he'd given himself a couple of corners, he'd be gone, because those two are properly wounded. So Breeze just hanging in there ahead of Plava.
Will Shane and Fury reverse positions, because Fury's in a better position in the championship?
Well, Fury is now
in the final third of the season, so it will come into play.
But this has been Shane's best round yet. Shane has looked phenomenal here. It is Fury catching onto the back of Shane relatively quickly. Oh no, actually the gap's maintained since the end of Sector 2, so Shane is matching his teammate. The question is, can they work together to get and pass Euro? That is what they're looking to try and do. Killer Camel into the wall again. He's got major damage to the Lexus, and he's just trying to survive until the pit window opens.
4 minutes.
As now we go back to Emprava, who can't quite get past Breeze. Breeze, I think, is now starting to get himself comfortable and adjusted to the damage that has been put on the McLaren.
Poor Peaceful's on his own. He's like 6 seconds behind Fury and 4 seconds in front of Breeze.
I mean, I don't think he's complaining. He's got a decent point here, and he can't quite catch the two Lexuses ahead of him. If they come together, he's then in the pound seat. So yeah, he's in a good position here. Shane is got Fury right up behind him now, but what do these two do? They probably will end up splitting strategies once the pit window opens. That would be the sensible thing to do.
Shane's wide. I think he's letting Fury through. Yeah, he's lifted. He's letting Fury through. Or is he? That's probably actually smart play. As long as Fury don't miss his breaking point for chicane.
He nearly did. So, the Teletubby Motorsports decide to switch positions. Fury now leads ahead of Shane. So what Shane can do now is use Fury as a tow and try and get him to tow him around the track and work together to get onto the back of Euro. He can learn what lines that Fury's taking and understand how he's able to find the performance in the Lexus. But it is Ripper who's pulling away He's 5.5 ahead of Euro, but Euro having a solid round once again. P3 is Fury, who's gone wide, and Shane's right back on the back of his teammate again. Peaceful in P5, Breeze P6, and Plava P7. Overtaker is P8, as we've got Gary 131 coming to pass Nexus down the inside of turn 1, but Nexus stays ahead. And we got Wolfinator in T10, Killer Camel in 11th, and like I said, Nexus is in P12.
Ripper's car don't have a single mark on it either.
Not a single mark. Beautiful, clean Audi.
I don't even think Euro's got any damage yet either.
No, I believe he is all good for the meantime. I think there might be a little scuff somewhere. I'm just trying to have a look. Nope, looks relatively clean to me, that Ferrari. So Shane now is putting more pressure on the back of Fury right now. The Shane and Fury is trying to get after Euro. So this is your closest fight on track. And at the minute, Fury has been allowed to go through, and he's not really pulled away from Shane.
No. I'm on camera set 2, by the way. Because I can change camera sets now for the outboard. So it's a bit of a different camera angle.
So those two are following one another as you now complete lap 4. Go starting lap 5. And Ripper comfortably out in front. Euro in second, and I think Euro at the minute is just looking to try and keep that gap to the two Lexuses behind him. And the poll will end in a few moments time, as so far most of you have gone for Ripper, then Overtaker, and there's a mix for Camel and Fury, but I don't think Camel is going to be able to get a race win on this one. Meanwhile, Gary and Wolfinator have dropped behind Nexus once again. So they've either had a moment or Nexus has worked his way through the order.
Nexus is now far enough in front, so we won't be getting blue flags now. Oh, no, he's lagging again. I'm not looking at him. Oh, Euro's got off. Oh, the Teletubby cars have hit each other as well.
Oh no.
Massive damage to Fury and to Shane.
No, and they've come off at the worst time. That's allowed Peaceful through, up into P2. So Euro's gone off. Fury's gone off, Shane's gone off, and here comes the rest of the pack. Here comes Gary, Wolfinator. Do they all manage to avoid them? Or Gary's had a moment. And there is Fury's car. Fury with major damage to the front of his car. The pit window has opened, but that car is ruined. Ripper, meanwhile, is way out in front. 20 seconds ahead of this man in the Honda. Peaceful Explosion in P2. Breeze in P3. And then Plava now P4. Overtaker P5 and catching the back of Plava. But Euro, he's pulled to the side. He's had to stop. And he's returned to pits. He's returned to pits. So Green Wolfinator now behind Shane. As Shane is trying to find his way past Nexus. I need to understand what happened there, because that was chaos.
But Ben, I won't be able to watch the pit lane.
I think we'll have to find out what happened on Fury's stream, because all knows what happened there. As Breeze is in. Breeze is in. Overtake is in. Shane is coming in. Where is Fury? Has Fury managed to drag it back? He's trying to, but he is going to go a few laps down. Camel is now into the pits. What chaos here.
It's usual race 2. It's like British touring cars, isn't it? With race 2.
It is indeed. Ripper is now into the middle sector, and Fury has only now got into the third. He's in the middle part of the third sector, so yeah, Fury went from winning race 1 to now dropping to the back of the pack.
He can't turn the car. He can't turn the car.
Ah, Shane looking so good. He was going to score some decent points, and now, after that little mistake, he's come out probably the worst of them all.
That Lexus doesn't want to turn. Fury can't get it in the pits. He's really, really struggling to turn it. Oh, that's just...
He's done a good job not to get across the white line, but it is Ripper who leads the way. Breeze has been let go. He's got his damage repaired as well. The question is, out of all these damaged cars, who's going to come out first? It's Overtaker. Shane didn't look like he had a massive amount of damage, so he might be... Yeah, he's then the next one. Killer Camel is the next one that was affected in all of that. He is away. So Ripper leads the race with a healthy gap ahead of Peaceful. And I don't really think he's not going to... not sure what happened, but I heard swearing words. So Fury's mum giving us an update of what happened in there. But I think Fury is going to be in there for a while. Nexus might be on unlap himself from a few cars here.
Nexus might get a top 10. Despite having severe latency.
So who's that to the pits? That is Emprava who's coming to the pits. So can he jump a few cars? Is he now realising, hang on a minute, a few cars with major damage, I can repair mine, or don't have to repair mine if it's manageable. But
sometimes a little bit of damage, the car turns a bit better.
But then there's a little bit of damage, but you've got to hope that it's a very small amount, enough to make the car want to turn. Wolfinator has caught onto the back of Gary 131. Both of these two have got slight damage. They've not been affected too much in this fight, but yeah.
Well, once the pit stops are done, I'll go through the replay and see what happened.
I think you'll run out of time, mate, because I think you only got so much. I think the best thing to do is go on Fury's stream once it's done and see what actually happened, because you'll see the front view. You might have seen Euro in the middle of the track.
And just came round blind and just
Fury and Euro are still in the pits. Emprava is in the pits, but Ripper though comes out at the final corner. He's got quite a healthy lap. He's 24 seconds ahead. Who stops in the middle of the track like that? Fury is not happy. I think that is Euro possibly who's had a spin. I think Euro's had a moment. He's spun round and boom, there he was.
So Palava's net P4, probably a net P5. He's ahead of Overtaker on the road, so.
Yeah, so Breeze looking good as well. So Overtaker, I don't think he's repaired his damage, but Breeze now into P5, but I think that is pretty much a P3, I would say. What's
pretty
the pit stops?
much.
Yeah. Shane is behind Overtaker. There is Overtaker. Shane isn't a million miles away from him, so if Overtaker's got damage, Shane can slowly start catching the back of Overtaker.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary's gone round. Gary's made a mistake into turn 1. And Fury is finally out of the pits. And he's come to a stop. If he retires, he will... Oh, he's gone to slicks. Has he gone to slicks? That's the question.
Yes.
That's what's happened there. So Fury's gone to slicks.
And he's left the session. That's another retirement.
That's another qualifying ban for Silverstone.
Yeah.
So Wolfinator has now got ahead of Gary 131. Gary's going to drop down the order a little bit more. But Ripper, so far, so good for him. So Ripper now coming into the pit lane. Nothing really troubling him there, as Emplava will now unlap himself.
He can take his time now. They can change his engine, maybe.
Yeah, possibly so. So the fight really... Oh, there's a car off. That was Killer Camel. He's had a moment, and he's ended up in the wall.
As I'm keeping an eye on Mike. Peaceful's coming in the pits now. Don't hit. Oh, he clipped the inside wall then.
I think we need to start giving him penalties for using the wall. But Peaceful is into the pits. I mean, by the time he comes to a stop, I think Ripper will then be off and away again as Euro and Wolfinator come into the pits to serve their pit stops. Gary 131, he's going to carry on through, and I think Nexus is also going to, yeah, he's already carried on through, so 2 cars still yet to serve their pit stops. How's Shane getting on? He has jumped Overtaker. So Shane has got ahead of Overtaker. His next target is Emprava, and he's got Breeze up the road as well, but I think Breeze is just too far ahead. And Shane, I think, can possibly catch Emprava. He's really been struggling with this Honda tonight, as Ripper is already gone. I think Mike is going to repair his damage, but I think Breeze might get close to him. Breeze is now into the final corner. He has a little bit of a wiggle there. Peaceful has been released. Off he goes. Breeze is in the final corner. And here comes Peaceful into turn 1.
Wolfie's away. Good stop by Wolfie.
Yeah, decent stop there. He didn't repair damage either. So him and Breeze going to come close to the turn 1. And Breeze to the outside. He's just going to hang on there and get ahead of Wolfinator. And that's what he needed to do.
And meanwhile, look who's creeped into the top 10, finally.
Nexus has now got himself in the top 10. But he's still yet to serve his pit stop, which Killer Camel should get ahead of him. I think Euro might not, though. But, yeah, Gary 131 still leading this race. He's got only a 3.2 gap over Ripper. And Ripper now.
Just Nexus and Gary are the only 2 people not to pit. Gary's probably going to pit this lap because he's not going to get... He might get round in time with another lap. Just touch and go, but he is peeling off to the right to enter pit road.
Into the pit lane comes Gary 131.
And Nexus is in as well.
Yep, so both of those guys finally 7 their pit stops, but it is Ripper who retakes the lead. Wolfinator losing out to Breeze. Breeze is pulling away, and everyone else is fairly spread out. Emplava, though, is onto the back of Euro, who's a lap down. Can Shane catch onto the back of Emplava?
Indeed. I'll tell you what, even though his race 2's not gone as well, I think I've got my driver of the day. And you, Dan? And then Alexis.
Possibly so. We'll see how the rest of this race goes.
Alexis is away from his pit stop, and don't touch that line, Benny.
Right,
Gary's away.
Gary is away. Where is it going to put him out, though? That's the question. Gary exits pits. We were just on board with Shane. Shane goes around the outside, and he'll fall behind him, and he's quite a bit ahead of Overtaker.
Yeah, I think Overtaker's struggling now. He's damaged again. He's still got rear diffuser damage, front splitter. Curse of the Commentator's real. Everybody, it is real.
Yeah, definitely so.
Yeah, it does. Don't look at YouTube comments right now, Dan. Peaceful's having a quiet race, and a very... Then he spun it.
Don't curse him now.
He's just having a quiet, steady race.
Oh, Overtaker's had a moment, and he's gone round. Like all these guys, I think, struggling now towards the end of this race. The only man who isn't struggling is your race leader, Ripper, who is pulling away from Peaceful. Explosion in second. Third is Breeze. Wolfinator still a bit behind him. Emprava is ahead of Shane, and Shane is under some immense pressure from Gary 131.
He is indeed. This is the closest battle on the track, actually, Shane and Gary.
It is indeed. Shane bouncing over the curb there. He wants to keep that under control because Gary will go for an opportunity whenever he can. As I will get, he will indeed.
Gary sees a gap. He's got to go for it because that's what Gary's like.
Definitely, and we are on board with Gary and Shane. And who is going to come out on top? I think Shane just has to do what he did earlier on and keep it on the track. Make sure he hits all of his points, and he will stay ahead of Gary 131.
Ripper's just... Well, he's already heading to Silverstone. I think he's that far in front.
He is. Oh, there's Wolfinator. Wolfinator's at a moment. That's going to pump up Shane and Gary. Emprava also is on the back of Euro, who's coming up to lap. But Shane and Gary still going at it hard at the minute.
Yeah.
As I'm trying to sort out who to put his driver of the day for these polls. It's tricky to pick. Everyone's had a fairly up and down night.
I think compared with his results last week, we've got to put Shane in there.
There sounds like a car that's gone off in front of these two. I think it... Oh, no. It sounded like there was, but...
I know his Overtaker's gone off again.
Our overtaker,
Oh.
he's had a torrid night here at Zandvoort, and he's probably hoping that...
Hoping Silverstone's dry. Not what I've seen for the latest weather for next week. It's not.
Ripper
Unfortunately.
looking like he is in control there. Peaceful is only just ahead of Breeze. Breeze losing, starting to gain, I think, a little bit on Peaceful Explosion. Just ahead of him. Emplava has now got ahead of Euro. Is Shane still ahead of Gary 131? Yes, he is, but only just.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that gets on.
It's the closest battle on track. That's what I've got my eyes on. It's the battle for P5. We might as well paint Ripper's car a Red Bull, mightn't we? Because so far he's in front.
As yeah, he's got this under control with 2 race wins under his belt. He's definitely in the ring for a possible. Well, sorry, not 2 race wins. He's got a second and a first. Fury winning the first race, but right now Gary 131 at the minute on the back of Shane. If Shane does,
Euro's keeping
oh,
out of the
Euro,
way.
yeah, sorry, Euro getting out of his way.
So technically, you meant to stay on the track. Just go off the racing line.
I think that's better option with the way the track is so tight and difficult to get around. It's probably the better option.
And awful, and they shouldn't be racing GT3 cars full stop. Yeah. I think it only appeared in one season actually before they F1 ruined it further.
Yeah, for sure. So Shane still ahead of Gary. We've still got 6 minutes left to go. This is really the only fight that is on track, and Shane, like I said, is doing a fantastic job of keeping that Porsche behind him.
Yeah, he is actually doing a really good job. Note to forget for your Euro. It's done so well, and then he lost it and got nailed by Fury by the look of things.
Yeah,
The team collected Shane.
we need to see what happened there. I think it might have just been bad luck and Euro trying to just stay out of the way, but it obviously Fury and Shane probably couldn't see nothing.
No, because a lot of these corners are blind. You can't see around them. Really though, when you... Oh, Gary's lost it in turn 1!
He has lost it.
Gary's
Gary
having to get
131. Yeah, he's got quite a comfortable gap over overtaker, but he's doing a pig's ear trying to get it back on track, but he has finally got it on there. Don't do that at Alton Park, mate, because I will be going past you. So Gary losing that time to Shane. Oh, Gary's gone off again. He's overheated those tyres probably, and he just needs to keep her under control. But Shane now hasn't got to worry about Gary 131 no more, and try and catch Emplava, who's only just up the road. Yeah, he's only just up the road. Breed is also trying to catch onto the back of Peaceful, but this man, Ripper, he's way out in front and could just cruise his way home.
He can indeed. Well, look, we won't be able to chat with Peaceful in maybe in 4.5 minutes, but it's not over until it's over.
It isn't over till it's over, because you've still only got 4.5 minutes left to go. A driver of the day poll will be out shortly, but your race leader is out in front. Peaceful is in second, ahead of Breeze, who's slowly but surely trying to just catch the back of that Honda. So Peaceful crosses the line. It was 4.1 the gap. Here comes Breeze. It's 4.4. So actually Peaceful's extended the gap. Emplava into the final corner. He's coming to the line. Any improvement for Emplava on Shane? Shane is just outside the window and it's 4.4. So Shane's gaining ever so slightly, but not enough. There's no real fights going on at the minute. Everyone's kind of spread out between one another. It is now really between Peaceful and Euro for the final few positions for the podium. And I think if Peaceful just... Whoa!
What was that, Dan?
Peaceful went a bit wide and looked like the rear wanted to go round. It looked like it. I don't know how much that was brown pants moment for Peaceful, but he has lost time. It was 4.4. It is now 3.7 to Breeze.
No Honda. Dude, no lawn for you. Wolfie's getting well out of the way.
Yeah, so at the minute. We've got a lot of cars that are just not on the lead lap or not really fighting anyone who's in their fight. 2.8 now, so Peaceful's little... Oh, he's had a moment in the chicane as well. So Breeze will be seeing that Honda getting bigger and bigger, and he's getting closer and closer. Wolfinator, on the other hand, is all over the shot. He's struggling with either damage or tyres. I don't know if he's on the dries.
Let me check.
But he seems a little bit loose and all over the shot. He's on the curb. And he stays out of the way of Breeze, and Breeze now goes ahead. So Peaceful is ahead. Breeze crosses the line. He loses a little bit of time because he was probably cautious of Wolfinator. I think Wolfinator
had his indicator on to pull over, say I'm going over here, let it through.
I think he is on wets because he's still able to brake and make the apex. So Shane now, he's losing time to Emplava. So I don't really think, as long as Emplava keeps it facing the right way, I don't really see him losing out to that. Nexus, meanwhile, is catching Wolfinator towards the end of this race. So that's for 9th and 10th. But it is Ripper who leading the way. He's 1 minute and 44 seconds, and he will probably start his final lap. What a dominant performance. We'll see what his gap is to Peaceful. But Peaceful...
from Zolder to Silverstone, maybe? That's the gap.
So Ripper now starts his final lap. Peaceful just has to hang in there. Breeze is trying to bring the gap down, but Breeze will extend. He will get ahead of Matt in the championship.
Yeah. Oh, someone's run there. That's Wolfie off the road again.
So that's going to allow Nexus to go through. Wolfinator has gone round. The only person who can get close to him now is Euro. He's not actually a million miles away, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to catch him.
Euro's 3 laps behind him. So.
Oh, right. So, yeah, that's not going to happen either then. So, as Wolfinator does miss his brakes and nearly goes straight on at the chicane. Ripper is currently in the far end of the circuit, so we'll come to him in a second.
He's pretty much half a lap. He's half a lap in front of Peaceful, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. As Peaceful crosses the line, Breeze is 2.4. He's brought the gap down ever so slightly, but not nearly enough that he could get. So, only a few more corners left for Ripper. He's pretty much dominated this race with ease. Shane has got a little bit closer to Emplava. Emplava's had a moment somewhere. But here is Ripper. He comes into the final sector. What more can you say, really? It's literally from lights to flag. No one's really bothered him. It's been a relatively easy race for the Audi driver, hasn't it?
It has been a very, very easy race for him. Never in doubt, was it really?
Definitely not. As he exits the final corner, round 14 is going to go the way of Ripper. He wins and extends his championship lead even more. His closest rival is Breeze. He will finish in the top 3. The next closest car, I don't even know where they are. It is Peaceful, who's gone off. He's gone off. He needs to hold it together. Here comes Breeze. I believe ahead of them is, I don't know who's ahead of him. I think it's
Camel.
It is Camel, his teammate. Is so Camel's going to finish 8th, but Breeze is right on the rear wing of Peaceful Explosion. He made a slight little mistake, and now Mike is under some massive pressure from the McLaren. His last corner dive. Camel exits the final corner. He's going to finish in 8th place, but we go back to Peaceful Explosion and Breeze. Has Peaceful just hang in there for P2. To the line he comes. Peaceful Explosion. P2 is best result of the season. He will finish in 2nd. Breeze will hang in there for 3rd. Emprava is going to come home for P4. Nexus is crossed the line. He's P9. But here comes Emprava. He's going to be happy with a P4. Shane was just about there towards the end. He will get P5 as there's a car doing a couple of donuts or burnouts. I'm not sure who it was. I think it was possibly Nexus. Shane comes home in P5. Gary131 is going to come home in 6th. We will now put the driver of the day post up. Guys, get your votes in on who you think. As Gary will come home in 6th. Overtaker is going to finish the race off. And Euro finished 11th. Wolfinator in 10th. Overtaker will complete the grid in 7th. So what a dramatic round we have had here at Zandvoort. And if the guys can hear me, we'll have Peaceful in the chat. I don't know if Breeze is able to chat, but
No, I don't think he is either. Right, let's take a quick screenshot of the results in case.
As that is it. That is your race done, and what a dramatic race that we have had here. As Peaceful, if he is listening, can you come into the commentary box? That'd be awesome. As
did we add Breeze to the comms box? Let me just double check.
Double check. I don't think we have had him, but either way, what a round this has been. Peaceful is going to be very happy with that one indeed, and I think SimPlay Racing in general are going to be happy with that one. Breeze will be happy to score decent points also, and yeah, it's been an all-round great night for those guys. I'm just updating the tables now.
Breeze is in the comms box party.
Where was Overtaker in the end of that one?
Overtaker was P. Hang on, let me just look at the screenshot I just took. That'd be easier, wouldn't it?
That would be easier. Or I could just go back on the stream. That's even easier.
Overtaker was
7th. 7th and Euro was 11th. So hopefully we should have that all up to date. While that's messing around, we do have Peaceful in the chat with us. Hopefully Breeze...
Thanks, PlayStation. Yep.
That's all right. But we do have Peaceful in the chat with us. And Mike, I don't think you were probably expecting this one tonight, as all sorts of chaos happened all around you, and you're the one who came out second at the end. So you've got to be particularly happy with that one.
I'll tell you why I'm even happier is Plava caught my back end at turn 1 and spun me round, and I got hit by about 6 cars. And then, yeah, to get P2's ace, I was concerned coming over the hill with whatever happened with Fury, because I just got a yellow flag and it's over that blind crest. And I thought,
yep.
Oh no, please don't be on the track. And I lifted and I managed to hold it close to the right just to get through. And I think that gave me the edge enough over Breeze.
Yeah.
Where he slowed down a bit more, but yeah, happy with P2. 50th podium for the Honda.
50th podium for the Honda. Finally, we get that for the car in your hands as well. Obviously, before the night even began, me and you obviously in a headset party and chatting away, and you were saying like you were struggling here tonight, and it's looking like damage limitations. But like I said, race 2, it's all about, especially here, just keeping yourself out of trouble and just staying on track by the looks of things.
Track position's key here. You can defend like crazy. You saw me in race 1 with Ripper. He was struggling to get past me at points, and then we ended up side by side for 3 corners.
Yeah.
And I knew he'd pass me in that race, because well, you've seen him, he's lightning. So yeah, if you've got someone on a similar pace, I think you can defend quite well and easily, even if you make that mistake. And I was ready to if we had another lap, because that was a bit close near the end for me.
It was indeed. And what happened? It just looked like you just understeered wide by the looks of things, or just got a little bit.
Felt like tyres. Just felt like they were going. I was struggling to brake in the point, but I was also watching his split time, as well as trying to drive. So you blink at the wrong point, you miss your braking point. You're like, oh no, this is going wrong. So, yeah, a few close calls then.
Obviously, we get Zandvoort out of the way. We then head to Silverstone for the next round of the season. And the Honda at Silverstone, it's a very fast circuit. What do you think you can do at Silverstone? And by the looks of things, the weather is even worse there. What do you think you can do there?
Just refresh the weather, and it is drizzle.
Drizzle.
31%.
Oh.
So I imagine it's going to be very similar to this, weather-wise.
What do you think the Honda can do in those conditions?
It seems okay in the wet. It's not too bad. I'm not a big fan of this track, so I struggle here anyway. I struggled here in the Ferrari. So I like Silverstone as a track, so it all depends on the straights, whether I lose too much in speed coming out of the corners.
Well, either way, mate, You did a fantastic job in race 2, kept your nose clean, and you got yourself a P2. I believe that is your best result of the season as well, and it's pumped you back up in the championship as well. So either way, a fantastic night's worth of racing for yourself.
Cheers. Yeah, after that first race, I'm quite glad of that result. So bring on next week.
Bring on next week indeed, and we'll see you at Silverstone. Congratulations on the P2, mate. As we will now look at the Drivers' Championship as the votes are still coming in for Driver of the Day. Ripper is leading away. These are unofficial results. There's still penalties and other views of the race have to be taken in for account. So we will take this as a pinch of salt. Ripper is leading away with 113 points ahead of Breeze, who is his next closest rival. Breeze really has got to hope that Ripper doesn't even turn up for the next rounds, because it is looking like Ripper has pretty much got one hand on the trophy. So Breeze in P2. Mathew has only dropped to P3 because his then next closest person to him is Peaceful Explosion in P4. He's now 184 points to his name, only 2 ahead of Killer Camel, who's level with Overtaker in P6. Fury drops back down to P7, level on points with Wolfinator, with Nexus in P9. 10th is Brava, 11th is Benno, 12th is Shane. De Silva still in the championship, but he has pulled out in 13th. Gary 131 is still mathematically in it, but he is more likely to drop out at Silverstone, with Euro in 15th. 16th is Hitman, 17th is T, David is 18th, and F1 Billow is 19th. Regarding the teams, it is shaken about so many times, and it's just getting more and more interesting. Obviously, just like in the F1, Red Bull pulling away way out in front, as is Killer Performance in P1. 497 points to their name, 160 ahead of SimPlay Racing in P2. They are on 137 points. Jaeger Motorsport dropped down to P3, only on 318, with Teletubby Motorsport in P4. P5 is JWB Racing 2, with JWB Esports Racing 1 in P6, and Button Bashin Racing in P7. Regarding the manufacturers, McLaren still have got the title in the bag. Bentley in 2nd, Ferrari in 3rd, Lexus 4th, Porsche 5th, Honda 6th, Aston Martin 7th, Audi 8th, 9th is BMW, 10th is Mercedes, Nissan is 11th, Retia is 12th, Lamborghini is 13th, and Jaguar 14th. We go to the drivers of the day. Emperor, PN, that's who I'm on about. We have 11 votes going in. Before I add the 11 votes, we need to add the 2 more to myself and you. PN, thoughts on Zandvoort and driver of the day?
I hate Zandvoort, but driver of the day, Shane. What an improvement from last week from Kyle Army.
Yeah, definitely a great drive from Shane, and that's another 2 from me as well. I think Shane's driving fantastically tonight to get a solid point as well. Yeah, even Peaceful saying Shane as well. Ripper, though, we can't fault how great he has been tonight. A P2 from the back of the pack at a track that you can't really overtake on, and also winning the second race by quite a margin. But it has gone the way of Shane. He gets driver of the day. It's been a fantastic night's worth of racing. You can see the red here on your screen there. It's taking a win at Zandvoort. Also, the Bentley has taken 2 wins, and then we've had the Audi as well. So multiple different cars winning here at Zandvoort. But can all 3 of those cars continue that pace as they all head to Silverstone, with possibly a little bit of drizzle hanging around at Silverstone? Who is going to be on top of that one? We then head, obviously, now back to Britain. We're going to have an all British round next week and this week, because we are now heading to the Porsche Super Cup as they go to Peaceful's home track of Alton Park. What can the Porsche Super Cups do around there? Can Fury continue his winning streak, or is he then suddenly going to have some gremlins sneaking up on him? Can Gary do anything, and what can I do? Probably not a lot, because I'm not very good in those cars. But that will be, hopefully Matt will be back from his trip in Switzerland, and also you'll have PN in the chat. I think Emperava also pops in every now and then.
Maybe Emperava.
Maybe Emperava. We'll see we'll see those guys in the chat on Sunday night. But will return on Tuesday at Silverstone, then the Pro-Am boys, and then also the pros on the Thursday night. Regarding the AM, you'll have PN and Fury and Matt in AM. regarding the Pro-Am. You'll have myself and Matt once again, as we will begin bringing you the action for that one, and then the pros will be myself and Kelly will be joining me in the commentary box for a special event for Silverstone, and then back to the Porsche Super Cup once again. But it is Ripper who is pulling out a massive lead over the rest of the guys. Obviously a lot of them not able to complete the whole season, but Breeze is in second place, just hanging in there. But it is looking like Ripper has got this under control. Who can stop him? Can Peaceful finally get the Honda to actually go faster than a lawnmower? Who knows? But we will see you. We will see you in a week's time as we head to Silverstone, the home of British racing. It is a good night from myself and PN, and we'll see you in a few nights' time at Alton Park for the Porsche Super Cup.
Good night.
I never had the chance to run, leave behind the said and done, figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for, gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe, and I guess I could be stronger now, and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now, and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. So we not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive.